my opinion and carry in.
Oh, it's Kris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Oh. I was like, why was it playing the loop? It was doubling and shit. But anyway, hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Kris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Uh-uh. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why it's playing a reverb or feedback or whatever. This is annoying. But anyway, oh, I know why. Because I have my YouTube video playing live and it's echoing. Oh, I should have not made sure that the YouTube was on. That was crazy on my part. But anyway, that was a mistake on my part. But anyway, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Unfiltered. We have a lot of topics that we're going to be getting to today, including we're going to talk about the Beyoncé Renaissance movie. I don't know if anybody's seen it and all that other stuff yet. I have not seen it, but apparently there's some rules and guidelines that y'all got to follow if y'all going to see said movie. So we have that. We have the latest on Jussie Smollett. I have some Tyrese tea. He's apparently, or Cryrese, because you know I call him Cryrese chair. So he's gonna be going in. He went in on Lil Nas X. We got some tea on Lenny Kravitz, who feels like that the black community doesn't respect him. Kim Zolciak is out here scamming everybody. She's the new Joanne the scammer. We got the latest on Keke Palmer and her situation with her baby father. I guess she wants to postpone some things. And 50 Cent, apparently the word on the curb is he's trying to do a surviving Diddy documentary. I don't know if y'all here for it or not, but if y'all are, let me know. And we got the latest on Julianna Margulies. She is facing an extreme amount of backlash because over some comments that she made regarding the black and LGBTQ community. She felt like, you know, the blacks and the gays were not taking the side of the Jews in the whole Israel-Hamas war. I have my thoughts on that. But so yeah, so in the meantime, what I would like for y'all to do is follow me on all my social media platforms, which I have down in the description below. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on any of my other platforms, I have it in my description, or specifically on my YouTube channel. You can follow me on my TikTok, you can follow, and you know, my YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, all the, you know, social media platforms that I'm on. So if you're interested in following me over there, definitely do so. And also, I'm not begging, but if y'all would like to donate to my Cash App, you know, the Kris Avalon, you could do so as well. It will definitely help out with the channel and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Okay. So apparently, Beyonce's Renaissance opening, you know, it came, I think, well, you know, movie theaters normally they do, you know, an early release on a Thursday. Friday, which was yesterday, was the big day that everybody went and they posted. You know, she did her opening with the Renaissance tour. I don't know if any of y'all seen it. Let me know down in the comments. I have not seen it, and there's a specific reason as to why I'm not going to the movies. And Bobby Lights is the perfect example of why I will be keeping my ass home and waiting until it ends up on a streaming platform or a DVD or something before I watch this Renaissance documentary. So I've decided that I'm just going to sit at home because there's certain movies I'm like, or certain things that I'm like, mm-mm. I don't know. My whole situation is I'm pretty much an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. And when I want to go see movies, I want to take it all in. I don't want people, you know, yeah, I don't need all of that when I'm trying to watch something. And Bobby is the epitome of extra. So before I jump to what he did, because apparently his ass got kicked out the movie theater for acting a damn fool, you know, seeing Miss Beyonce. But anyway, so the theaters have a guideline that they want people to follow in regards of, you know, her, you know, if you're gonna go see her in the theater. Now hold on, I think what I wanna do is I wanna share the screen so that way y'all could see what I'm talking about in regard to, because funny enough, they wound up as a picture using my damn old job, AMC in Empire 25 in Times Square. So Basically, it said, well, shout out to EW for this via Beast Guard. So it said AMC has issued some very specific guidelines for fans queuing up for Beyonce's Renaissance tour. So this is what another reason I can't stand using Beast Guard's website, because this heifer has a habit of the page jumps, and it's annoying. So basically, it said AMC has told the Beehive that they are more than welcome, encouraged even to get decked out, saying, we want to see your amazing outfits. So basically, y'all can come in the silver. If y'all still got y'all silver outfits, because I don't know many people that want to be out here wearing them ugly ass silver outfits. But if y'all still got them from the concert, y'all can go and wear it and show y'all entire behinds in your best silver regalia if y'all want to go when y'all go see Beyonce. So it basically said that we want to see amazing outfits. Hashtag Renaissance the film. Hashtag for fans shareable moments. But there's a caveat. Please do not take pictures or record while the film is playing. And that's basically, but that's basically, isn't that what they normally say about the movie? So, I mean, when you go to the theater, you shouldn't be recording. So it says, have fun, but don't make us call your mom. You know the words, you know the choreography. Sing and dance your heart out. But please respect each other's space along with the theater equipment. Also, ask the revelers, avoid dancing on seats or blocking the view of others. Well, that basically means they don't want y'all to go see the movie. I mean, because isn't that what people are going to be doing when they go to the theater? Is that they're going to be acting a whole fool watching this film, or cutting up in the aisles and dancing and having a good time? I mean, first of all, wasn't that what they was doing at for the Taylor Swift situation? Wasn't they one of the kids up there dancing and people dancing in the aisles? Now it would behoove you to not dance on the seats. Them seats, well, I don't know. I was gonna say them seats, some of them is old. But from where I go, because normally I go to in New York, I usually go to the AMC in Lincoln Square. Their seats are relatively new. I know they recently changed the seats in the IMAX theater. I don't know if it's just playing in the IMAX. I know in the regular ones, a lot of the theaters now have the reclining chairs and this, that, and the third. So I would say, try to behave yourselves when y'all go to the movies and y'all see the show. My thing is, I want to take it all in. My thing is, I'm always interested in watching the process of how Beyonce puts her shows and stuff together, with the performances and, the behind the scenes stuff where she's hanging out with her family and she's doing the choreography and all that stuff. So I'm always interested in learning that process when she's being creative and that whole thing. And then, the trials and tribulations and how much work goes into the choreography. And those days, like I did see the clip where she was talking about how she had bronchitis and she had to sing through it and the smoke and all that stuff. And when, because their performers, like when they're sick, they, got an injury, whatever, they still get out there and they perform it. There's some of these new age heifers that, oh my God, I got a little mosquito bite, I can't perform. But you know what? These days, I'm not even going to go hard on the younger generation anymore with y'all half-ass performances, because a lot of the older generation performances or performers are starting to show they behind too. Like we got Anita Baker acting a whole fool. We got Lauryn Hill don't like to show up on time or at all to any of her shows, which basically they just said that she canceled one of her shows. So, or the rest of her tour, for that one damn album that y'all keep letting her slide for. And I'm like, you know what? That one album wonder, I'm not going to sit there and give credit or keep giving a pass to somebody who don't respect her damn fans or who don't respect the audience. Okay. So that must be a bot or something. I am not putting that on here. But anyway, so, I feel, I get that people are excited and they want to be in a moment with the Beyonce and all that stuff. But just, when y'all go, please have respect. Just like get up in there, sing the songs, shake your booty in your chair, but don't dance on the chairs, don't twerk on the chairs, don't be disrespectful and all that other mess. Because look, it ain't, a lot of the stuff in the AMC is expensive. Now, apparently somebody who didn't get the memo is Bobby Lights, because he got read the riot. Well, they said he got kicked out of the theater for acting a whole fool. And some people said he was on the booger sugar. Now, I don't know if he was on the booger sugar or not. And I think a lot of people like to hold that against him because Bobby Light has made no qualms about the fact that, yes, he likes to partake in, riding the white horse every now and again. And as somebody who is a grown-ass man like he is, he should be entitled to like what he likes and snort what he want to snort and smoke what he want to smoke. If you want to do drugs and this, that, and the third, go ahead and do it. I'm not judging because, like I said, you old enough. And, everything in moderation is what I say. So I want to play y'all that clip where he was basically, mad because the people was coming for him over, him doing the booger sugar. So hold on, let's play this clip.
So I wake up and I see that people on the blogs are just so shocked that I was acting that way in the movie theater to the point where it has to be cocaine. Like, this world is just so, like, disgusting. Like, this is the world we're living in. A bitch can't even enjoy themselves and turn the fuck up to their favorite artist without it being drugs. Oh, because it's me. Got it. Okay, we got it. Well, I just want y'all to know, y'all, I just pray that y'all find the same happiness I have. I love being me. I love the skin that I am. I'm not going to stop. And guess what? I'm going to the movies again today, and I'm going to act another donkey. So I wait. This thing's here. Donnie made my dress that cute, and that she looks a mug.
See, that's basically what he was in the theater doing. He's in there pop dipping, spinning, voguing, doing all the moves, and acting a fool. And apparently he got kicked out the theater, or people was dragging him on social. But yeah, according to the reports, that he was out here acting a whole fool, and he got kicked out the theater for doing all of that. And it's like, you know what? Enjoy yourself, but don't poach on people's, situation, and have them looking at you like, what are you doing? You need to calm down. Even though that's a Taylor Swift song. But yes, calm down, sis. So I say all that to say, well, I think I pretty much said like 4 or 5 damn times already. Just go, if y'all gonna go to see Beyonce in this tour, just go and have a good time and don't rain on nobody's parade. Don't get in no fights, none of that craziness. Because I've been seeing, not Beyonce per se, but I've been seeing like, people on social media breaking out into fights and stuff over the stupidest stuff in movie theaters, at award, like not even at concerts or whatever. Like, you can't even have fun no more. Everybody be out here acting crazy. So shout out to you, Beyonce. And I'm curious to find out how much money this movie's gonna make over the weekend. And the next podcast that I do, I will look at that and bring y'all the numbers, and then we'll talk. But like I said, I'm waiting until it pops out on one of the streaming services, because I heard the movie is almost 3 hours. Plus, I got to think about the previews, which in theaters that's be going on for 20 minutes. So it's 20 minutes plus the movie is literally going to be 3 hours that y'all up in there watching Beyonce. So if y'all got to go to the bathroom, make sure y'all do that during them coming attractions, because otherwise you're going to wind up peanuts. Okay, so let's get into our next topic, which is the latest on Jussie Smollett, who apparently the appellate court of Illinois has denied the actor and director's request to toss his conviction on disorderly conduct counts. Now, the actor, who was sentenced 150 days behind bars after being found guilty of faking a hate crime, was released last year pending the outcome of his appeal. That's because, he went on that whole hunger strike and all that stuff, and they took him out of prison. Now, prior to his appeal, Jussie spent 6 days out of the 150 in Cook County Jail. Now, Illinois' appeals court upheld his conviction on Friday with the 3-judge panel voting 2-1. Jussie's legal team still has the option of appealing the decision to the Illinois Supreme Court, which would then decide on whether to hear the case. Now, back in October, Jussie, because we talked about it on a prior show, back in October, he entered rehab seeking treatment for undisclosed reasons. Now, it's unclear if that will factor into his next legal move. Now, I did say that Jussie did jump into the whole, I was like, you know what, he trying to use this whole rehab situation as a way to like not have to go to jail. That may play into the I've sold my wild oats. I've learned of my crazy ways. I've gone to rehab and rehabilitated. I am delivered. I have done all of the things. So now, can you please not put me behind bars? And you want to know something? There's a lot of, and like I said before, and like two wrongs I know don't make a right. However, there've been so many people out here that get away with far worse. A lot of you Karens and this, that, and the third that like to sit up in here and make lies about black people, and y'all end up not going to prison. I'll use this chick as an example. The one that lied on Emmett Till. That she never went to prison, but I mean she's dead now, but she never had to pay for the fact that she lied and got that innocent boy, unalived. And so at this point, my thing is, you know what? If he got away with making up a whole lie and saying MAGA this, MAGA that, I'm not saying it's right, but come on now. We can't constantly be always punishing people of color and then white people get away with stuff. And I just didn't feel like it was a big old deal. I've already made my said my thing about why I believe he did what he did. And I do believe that it was because apparently, he thought he was Bayard Rustin and he was trying to be the next big black queer revolutionary. And he was out here trying to have the fist up in the air and got black power and, all that other stuff. But I think Jussie got, the situation got the best of him. And plus, he was doing the drugs and stuff too. So, allegedly. So, I think all of that may have played into why, him getting too big for his britches, thinking he bigger than the way he is. And then, the lie caught up with him. Do I believe that this whole thing happened with the MAGA and the rope? And no, I think he was just piling on a little too much. Like sometimes when a lot of y'all need to learn. See, I'll say this. I'm a Virgo. I don't like to lie because then I got to keep up with it. And I think in general, when you lie, you have to constantly try to keep up with the lie. And I ain't got time to sit up here and try to remember the last lie I told this one. So I'm going to say, oh, they had time to throw bleach on me. Like who walking around with bleach, a rope, all these different things to harass somebody like that? The math wasn't mathing. So I didn't believe the lie, but I was like, because I love me some Jussie, I was willing to look the other way, which I think a lot of us tend to do when it comes to people that we like. We could be a little biased, but do I think that he needs to do some time? I mean, he did his time. He did 6 out of the 150 days that he was sentenced to. So I'm like, he did his thing. Look at Felicity Huffman with that whole lie she did, and then recently just spoke about it, which I looked at her and rolled my eyes completely damn down my head with her excuse. But it was like, when it came down to the whole Felicity Huffman thing, and why she had to lie and all the other stuff to get her child in a good school when you are a privileged actress or just privilege in general. So I don't know. And look, I've always said white people have been the ones that have benefited wholeheartedly from affirmative action than people of color. So I don't know why these government officials out here trying to sell y'all a lie, but the reality is that white people are the ones who benefit from affirmative action more so than people of color. You can look it up. It's out there. The evidence is out there if you Google schmoogle. So when she said all of that, and yeah, she did her little week in jail. And meanwhile, there was a black woman who I believe was sentenced to 5 years in prison for lying about her address to get her kid into a good school. So, like I said, the math don't be mathing. The pendulum don't never swing on the side of people of color, especially when it comes to the judicial system, how flawed that is and how it always seems to be more marketed towards, against people of color than for them, because a lot of these laws is outdated and need to be updated. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Jussie. I hope he doesn't go to jail. I hope that the rehab does play a factor in the whole situation. But I feel like at this point, y'all just been dragging this on and on and on. The people of Chicago, isn't this coming out of y'all taxes? Like, I feel like at this point, y'all just need to move on from this situation and just let it go. So shout out to you, Jussie. I don't know. Is he still in rehab? I haven't heard from him in a minute. And can we get a B-Boy Blues sequel? Because I want one. I love B-Boy Blues, even though it didn't really get the promotion that it should have gotten. But I like the movie. And James Earl Hardy's books definitely deserves way more recognition than they've gotten over the years. Because I read those books back when I was a kid. So shout out to you, Jussie, and good luck on however this outcome, whatever transpires from this outcome. Okay, so let's get to our next topic, which is Cryrese apparently going in and letting have on Lil Nas X, but he should be worried about, that child support payment and all the other stuff that's going on with his baby's mother using Gibson as the last name when you don't even use Gibson. So I don't even understand why you upset over your ex using Gibson. First of all, with her using Gibson, that brings her attention and clout. Now, if it's wrong for her to do that, you shouldn't have married her in the first place and had a baby with her. So apparently he's bored because they haven't started making another Fast and the Furious movie because that's the only time Cryrese actually starts working is when Vin Diesel gives the call to come back and play the same tired ass character that he always plays. His character irritates me in that goddamn movie franchise. But then again, Fast and the Furious movies ain't been good since Paul Walker died. Which, sidebar, I just saw an article the other day. It's been 10 years since he passed away. I believe this past week. So that's insane to me that Paul Walker's been dead for 10 years. Where the hell did the time go? Anyway, so Cryrese basically went on social media and was all upset over a 75-second snippet of a song that Lil Nas X put out, which is basically about his personal struggles. Now, basically what they were saying was that he said he's in his Christian era, that this is his Christian song, and apparently we got people out here like Cryrese who wants to sit and dictate what they feel, or gatekeep what they feel is they're Christians, or this is what's Christian and what's is not Christian. It's like none of y'all have credence or ownership over what you think a Christian is or what a Christian should be or who should be singing what. But I listened to a little bit of the song and it didn't give me Christian. It gave me like just strumming a guitar and he, Lil Nas X exercising his emotions. So they said that many felt his latest track was a stark transition from his evil visuals in the Montero Call Me By Your Name music video. And it said, God is not an era, it's a lifestyle, one naysayer commented before Tyrese entered the chat and scolded the industry baby performer. Cryrese left the comment under the Shade Room's post. I would show y'all that, but I can't stand the Shade Room because I feel like that they're homophobic and transphobic and don't like anybody that is, and they like to promote a lot of ignorant stuff on there, so I don't fuck with them. So I will not be giving them, I'm not going to post or show y'all what it was said over there. So I'm going to read what he said. And he said, y'all going to learn to stop playing with God. God is not to be played with. From shoes with devil signs and devil's blood in the soul shoe, he wrote. We can all change. I get it, but I feel a way about people making a mockery about Jesus. Do you live your life, do what makes you happy, but y'all better stop playing with Jesus out here. And based off of his comment, I can definitely tell, number one, Cryrese ain't even listened to the goddamn song. He just saw a headline like most people do and just responded what people were saying because he probably was scrolling through his phone and saw a headline. And like most people, when y'all read these headlines, which a lot of times can be misleading, y'all will sit and, stir up the fake outrage. And I feel like that's what this basically is. So Lil Nas X basically clapped back at Tyrese and said that he was overreacting. He said, this really crazy because all I did was post a song about asking God for hope when you feel hopeless. And y'all acting like I posted a video of me burning a church down and peeing on a nativity scene. And then Nas took to Twitter, because you already know I said it enough times on this show, I would not be calling it what they call it now, with a series of messages amid the public outcry over his change of style, saying, I am allowed to get on my knees for multiple reasons. Okay, that's funny. Which, this is a double entendre with that. You can get on your knees and suck a dick, or you can get on your knees and praise the Lord. Or you can do both at the same time, can't you? When you say, oh God, when you're taking it from the bite. But anyway, so another Lil Nas expressed that he feels like y'all see everything I do as a gimmick. When in reality, I'm just an artist expressing myself in different ways. Whether I'm a cowboy, gay, satanic, or now Christian, y'all find a problem. Y'all don't police anybody else's art like mine. Y'all hate me because I'm fun, cute, and petite. He's so stupid. But here's the thing. Nas, I care. I love you. I like what you're all about. I love the fact that we have somebody who's young and gay out here in the mainstream making music. I wish there was a lot more people being pushed out because you and Saucy Santana are not the only representations. Like, I love me some Zebra Cats. Why isn't he getting a push? I love me some, Cakes the Killer. He's like one of my favorite out rappers right now. If y'all have not heard his music, definitely look him up. He's got that, if what Azealia Banks used to give before she done lost what's left of her ever living mind, Cakes the Killer gives that. He's a gay Butch Queen who raps over house music. Also, you know, I listen to the reggaeton. I listen to Tiago, who's a Brazilian artist. You know, there's a lot of queer artists out here who are really giving us what we need in regards to the music. And then La Cruz, you know, he's another artist, but y'all be out here eating Bad Bunny doo-doo like his shit don't stink. I listen to the out artists out here. And then of course, Hugo Almonte. He's another artist that's out here giving, you know, out, you know, who's a bisexual reggaeton artist who's giving us, you know, that vibe. So, but Nas, you're not gonna sit up here and try to act like that you don't be out here trolling people or that you don't be out here pulling stunts and shows. Like a lot of times what you be doing, it do come across as very much antic-esque. Oh, hey, Linnea, how you doing? So hallelujah. But yeah, what you be out here, you definitely be out here throwing the antics around and you basically be out here trolling. So don't try to act like that you so damn innocent in this situation because you do be, you know, stirring the pot and doing things. Now, as an out artist, you should be allowed to express yourself and push the envelope and talk about things that are considered taboo, especially when gay people in media are always treated like we have to be eunuchs, we have to be sexless, like we don't have sex. Hello, the word sexual is in homosexual. So we do fuck like straight people do. And I know it makes y'all a lot uncomfortable, but oh well. Welcome to the real world. We human. I'm grown. I'm over 21. I do all the things that y'all do. So Lil Nas X should be allowed to express himself through his music. And my thing is also with people who are Christian, like I feel like Lil Nas X is more of a Christian than a Cryrese. Like Cryrese out here judging and talking about and trying to act like y'all have ownership or y'all have the ability to gatekeep what being gay or not even gay, but being a Christian is. And it's like, says who? Because we already know like the biggest hypocrites is in the damn church. A lot of them that walk around with these upper echelon church folk with their nose in the air, making fun and talking shit about the people when they coming in there. Oh, they know the one that know everybody damn business. The ones that be up in here talking all the mess about the people that be coming up in the church with the biggest damn hat on. You can't see past you can't even see the damn the pastor on the pulpit because this heifer want to sit in front of me with her big ass hat on. So, you know, we have all those things. So it's just like, let this boy express himself how he needs to express himself. And if y'all have a problem, scroll on down or scroll on by. That's what I do. If I don't like something, I don't be up on there criticizing. Well, actually, I bring it up on my show because I have a podcast and I have a show and I'm doing it that way. But for the most part, when I'm on social media scrolling and I'm seeing stuff, if I'm uncomfortable with something, I just scroll on by. I don't have time to entertain because the minute you say something or you try to comfort people, they want to have you blocked. They want to say, oh, you're a bully. And then it's not following community guidelines. And I ain't got time to be playing with these algorithms with Meta and they foolishness and all that other mess. So I just do what I like I said, I just scroll on by. In the words of the Dionne Warwick remix. So and Cryrese, would you go find something to do? Like worry about your child support and worry about all this other messes going on with your ex-wife and the current girl that you got and all the other messes going on in your life. And what's going on with Home Depot? You still suing them? Inquiring minds want to know. So shout out to you, Nas. Do what you're doing. And my thing is also, before I move on to the next topic, I need to say this because I've been saying this so many damn times. Nas, I really wish you would just focus on the music because when I listened to your last album, you had some cute songs on there, but your music is not as memorable as like these other. I don't even know what artists to compare you to. Like your music is not that memorable to the point where you need to be doing all this other stuff. Like you're getting all this push and this promotion from the mainstream label, but I really need you to really. I hope with this next album you have coming out, if there's a sophomore album, that you be focusing on the creative aspect of really trying to show these people that you have talent instead of you know just coming up with shenanigans and stunts and shows. Because a lot of times, it's not just him, but there's a lot of people out here, the stunts be bigger than the actual song. And then you hear the song, nobody cares. It's like, okay, it's cute or whatever. And then we moved on. Kind of like that new song that Beyonce has on her latest, at the end credits. I meant to bring that up in the previous thing. I heard that song. It's so cool. It's all right. I listened to it, I'm like, it's all right. I'm glad it's an end credit track. because it don't fit with, the whole Renaissance thing. But, some people be up in there like trying to eat her doodle or whatever. Oh, Roro says, and his live performances are quite cringe. I will say this. I have never seen Lil Nas X perform live, like in a concert. Like I've never, in New York City, I know he performed at Radio City. I don't know how many dates he did there, but when he did his Montero tour, or whatever it was called, I know he did multiple dates on the tour. I did not see it. I did not go because I didn't fit, certain artists, like I said, you're not giving me what I need to get in order to go see you live. Like I'm not paying money to see somebody with just one album and a bunch of okay songs. But yeah, so I haven't listened. I mean, I haven't seen him perform. I have seen him perform live on award shows, and it's cute for what it has going there. But with this sophomore album, like I said, you really gonna have to show that you got something in order for people to take you seriously. Because I've noticed a lot of people on social media are looking at you like you're just nothing more than a stunt queen. So shout out to you. Now, speaking of musicians who's not a stunt queen, let's talk about the legendary Lenny Kravitz, who basically says that he feels like he gets overlooked by Black media. So, in a new interview with Esquire, the American Woman rocker admitted, he said, "To this day, I have not been invited to a BET thing or a Source Awards thing. And it's like, here is a Black artist who has reintroduced many Black art forms, who has broken down barriers just like those that came before me broke down, that is positive, and they don't have anything to say about it." Now, although the 59-year-old, Jesus, he's almost 60. Can I just tell y'all that Lenny Kravitz looks good? Like, I want to know what's your secret to the fountain of youth? Because I want to look like that when I'm pushing 60. Him and Jared Leto, those are the two that I was like, y'all are some vampires. I mean, I know one played a vampire, Morbius. Let's forget about that movie. But, he still looks youthful and supple. Now, they said that although the 59-year-old says, "I'm not here for the accolades, I'm here for the experience," he still voiced curiosity about why his success is not celebrated by the folks who run those publications or organizations. He says, I have been that dream and example of what Black artists can do." Now, apparently, Kravitz has always battled with support from both Black and white media. In his 2001 Vibe cover story, he recalled, "I took my demo around and started hearing the whole thing about how my music wasn't Black enough, wasn't the right color. When I first came out, a lot of rock press was just hating. A lot of these journalists have been around in the 60s and felt like it was their sacred ground. How dare anybody F with their sacred ground?" But here's the crazy part. Rock and roll, I know a lot of people try to clean it up and try to dismiss history. Rock and roll was created by Black people. Chuck Berry, Little Richard. Shout out to Little Richard. May he rest in peace. There's a documentary, I have not watched it yet, that I believe is on HBO Max. I'm not calling it Max, it's such a stupid name. But HBO Max has a documentary on Little Richard that I have saved, and I have not got around to watching yet, and I definitely want to check it out. But rock and roll is Black music. Before, Elvis came around, and, if you've seen the stories about Elvis, the documentaries, even that recent movie with Austin Butler, he was inspired by the Black church and brought a lot of that sound into the rock music that he was doing. And a lot of Black artists wrote his shit too. So, history is history, and people need to understand that. But also, I remember there was an article that came out, I think earlier this year, where one of the guys from, I think, Rolling Stone, didn't they say something or another that one of them was gatekeeping, and one of them turned out to be a damn racist and was gatekeeping, which artist they wanted to bring in and do whatever it was that they were doing. So, and then I think he had recently stepped down because of it. So, that's what I like to say is like, yeah, you get a lot of these powerful white men in these spaces that want to sit and gatekeep. And also, I think maybe, I've heard some people say that, Lenny Kravitz took it upon himself to not want to put himself in these spaces. I don't necessarily know that to be true, but a lot of times what you do have in this industry, and I'm going to use someone as a perfect example. We have people in this industry who want to be included in those spaces, but they have people in their own camps that try to prevent that from happening. Not only that, but their label are the ones that do it. I'll give you a perfect example. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey did an article, because since we talking about Vibe magazine, someone brought up to me earlier this morning and tagged me in a post. I think it had to do because I talked about the whole Lenny Kravitz thing. Excuse me. And they wound up saying that Mariah Carey, people were looking at her in the beginning, oh, she thinks she white, and this, that, and the third, even though Mariah Carey was doing soul music. She was even incorporating hip-hop artists into the music she was doing, which was a sound that Jennifer Lopez swagger jack, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But and you know, the whole sampling and all the other stuff. So Mariah Carey has always been someone who has rode hard for being a black woman. She has always incorporated the fact that she has a black father, even though people tried to erase him from you know, a lot of situations. This is mentioned in her memoir. And she's also, if you look back at old interviews, she has even brought this up. There was a person, I cannot remember the names or whatever, so forgive me. But there was a woman that worked at Vibe magazine that wanted to get Mariah Carey on the cover and do an interview with her, but there were a lot of roadblocks in the way. There were people saying, oh, she would not do this interview. She's not going to want to do it, whatever, whatever, whatever. The girl was persistent. She somehow, I don't remember how, got Mariah's number and called her directly. And Mariah was like, who is this? And the girl explained everything. And then Mariah was like, yeah, come over and do the interview. Long story short, basically, she went over, did the interview, did the whole art, you know, did a whole long interview with Mariah. And then it wound up in, you know, the Vibe magazine issue. She made the cover. And it was like one of their big successful issues. So a lot of times it's not even the artist per se. You have to try to find a way to get around all those other people that be trying to, you know, when you're racially ambiguous, especially, there are a lot of people in this industry that try to erase that black side of you because they want to make you marketable to a lot of places, especially like in America and beyond. So like Lenny, is a cultural appropriation at its worst. So it's like a lot of, you know, there's a lot of cultural appropriation that's going on. We have a lot of these things, and it's like, you know, we shouldn't just, I wouldn't just 110% just go in on Lenny Kravitz. And I like Lenny. I mean, I like his music. He has definitely been, you know, he has definitely pushed the envelope in regards of the music industry. And then also, you know, there are times when it's like you have the publicists or whatever, when you get these black people who's on the red carpet who want to interview a lot of these celebrities, they're pushed in real quickly. They put them at the end of the line, and then by the time they get to them, they're, oh, we run out of time. We got to get our artists back. I mean, we got to get them in the theater. So a lot of times, black media gets overlooked by our own. And then also we have to think about, you know, when you look at places like BET is notorious for only wanting to show one a certain aspect of black people, which would be the Tyler Perry church lady types, the sexy red blue face types, and the Cliff and Claire Huxtable Spelman College type. So there's always a specific type of black people that a lot of the media wants to show, and think that, oh, well, if we show these other things, then oh, he's trying to be white, or they think they better, or, you know, it's always that foolishness. It's just ignorance. Okay, so Roro says, reminds me of the Halle Berry clip showing her stopping to talk with black journalists on the. I think that was, yeah, exactly, and I think that was during the John Wick 3 premiere, that there was a publicist or whatever that was trying to brush her in, and they purposely put a lot of these black people in. I hate doing red carpet events. I've done a couple of them. I just stay in the background and take my damn pictures. I don't do. I've done the whole media spiel thing where I've stood on red carpets and stuff, but it's a headache. I don't like doing it. But I've sat and I've watched, like when I've joined a friend of mine who does professional photography on a lot of these red carpet events, and I've used to do like interviewing the girls from RuPaul's Drag Race back in the day during the logo seasons and stuff, when I was doing all of that. I was like, I don't like doing this whole media interview thing. So why is somebody calling me in the middle of my show? But anyway, I'm not doing that. I'm live, child. So shout out to you, Lenny. Hopefully, you know, what I hope with this article is that this article gives people, you know, maybe somebody will see this and they'll be like, you know what? Let's invite him to our spaces. Let's put him on the cover of our magazines and get him at the BET Awards, the next one in 2024, where he can perform, and not even perform, just as a presenter. So we'll see. We'll see if they let him do that. So shout out to you, Lenny. Now, child, this topic, she done worked my damn nerve. Let's talk about Kim Zolciak because I'm about tired of this damn stunt queen and the little shenanigans that this heifer be pulling. But yeah, she be doing too much. So apparently she is so desperate for attention. She is so desperate for a coin that she's out here faking her own daughter's pregnancy for clicks and likes. And I feel like after all of this, what she need to do is refund all them people for pulling them scams. Or basically at this point, y'all should know like anything that she does or anything that she posts, just ignore her. Put her on mute. Let's do the mute challenge with Kim Zolciak. So Kim, her dry ass wigs are so desperate for attention that she's willing to throw some fake news on her daughter's uterus just so she could get that immediate endorphin fix. Now, TMZ reported in a social media post that Kim strongly suggested daughter Brielle was pregnant, sharing a sonogram and saying that she was so excited to be a grandma. Now, Kim turned the comments off, of course she did, and it links back to a clickbait news article reading, "Oh baby, Brielle Bierman spilled to us about having kids and how she feels about her mom, Kim Zolciak, becoming a grandma." Now, it turned out it was all bogus and just a way for Kim to make a quick buck. Now, sources similar to the situation told TMZ that Brielle isn't actually pregnant, despite Kim's post suggesting otherwise, and Kim is getting a financial kickback from the clickbait article. Now, Kim and Kroy's financial struggles, as y'all know, have been well documented, and it's not even something that I even talk about a lot on here anymore, because every time I turn around, there's a new damn article that comes out. It's always some BS, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not giving this witch, this thirsty ass, she about thirsty for attention and the wigs that she be wearing. So, I don't give her that much attention. But however, I decided to bring this up because I'm at my wits end with her, and I just had to address this. So basically, they owe the IRS $1 million, and they got various lawsuits. We always hear about unpaid bills, the credit card bills, all this other stuff, bills. There's like so much coming out. What is it? That she was sued by Bank of America for over $50K in credit card debt. She was also sued in August by Saks Capital One for failing to pay a $156K credit card bill. They got no word back from Kim or Brielle. And you know what? Like I said, let's stop giving this plastic thirsty fame whore attention. I'm tired of giving this heifer attention. I'm tired of this witch always wanting attention for stuff. For what? And it's like, you know what? I started noticing when all these articles and stuff started coming up, especially when she would talk about her and Kroy and them calling the cops every 5 minutes. Somebody would have been, any one of us would have did that and called the cops as much as she and Kroy be calling the cops, and then the kids be calling the cops because they fighting in the house. We'd be in jail. But because they are who they are, they get away with murder. And isn't that wasting taxpayer dollars every time y'all call the cops over some BS? Oh, he locked me out of my room. Okay, kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. Why don't you do that? In the words of Biggie Smalls, if he ain't gonna let you in the damn room, kick that shit in. Shit. So, they fighting over that, and then all of a sudden, I think the anniversary came up, and then they was fighting. They talking about they filed for divorce again. She taking the name back, the Bierman name. Then she's removing the Bierman name. Then she's doing this thing. Then all of a sudden, they out at dinner on the anniversary, talking about they love each other. I'm like, what in the bipolar disorder is going on with these two? I feel like at this point, they are playing with their marriage. They playing with a whole bunch of other stuff, and they playing in our faces, and I'm tired of it. So this is why I'm gonna say at this point, wig, be gone, you and your tired ass plastic surgery victim looking ass and your kids, and go somewhere. I'm tired of her. She's so desperate to want to be back on TV. And even if she was on TV, I would not care enough to watch her. Like, I know she has the Surreal Life coming out with Chet Hanks and a whole bunch of other people that she did in Colombia, I think about 2 months ago. But I don't know, at this point, unless the commercial is juicy as hell, maybe I'll watch. But I could care less about Kim at this point. I'm just sick of her with the damn shenanigans. So, I don't know. She wears me out. But yeah, I was gonna say shout out to her, but no, don't shout her out. But one person that I do want to shout out is Keke Palmer, who is asking for a delay in the restraining order. Speaking of award shows, because I know she did the Soul Train Awards the other day. I haven't recorded. I still have not watched it yet. If y'all seen the Soul Train Awards, let me know if y'all thought it was good or not. Let me know in the comments, because if you're in the live chat, the couple of y'all see watching, let me know in the comments. Those who are gonna watch the playback, let me know in the comments, because I have not seen it yet. I mean, I've heard some things, and like I said, I haven't recorded. But yeah, I haven't watched it yet. But anyway, so Keke Palmer and her ex, Darius Jackson, have agreed to mediate their custody issues privately following explosive claims that he physically and emotionally abused her. Now, shout out to Radar Online for this story. It says Palmer and Jackson have agreed to try to work out their issues behind closed doors weeks after the actress filed a shocking restraining order petition in court. Now, according to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Keke and Darius informed the court that they want the upcoming December 5th hearing postponed. The hearing was scheduled for Keke to make her case as to why her temporary restraining order should be permanent. As first reported last month, Darius was ordered to stay 100 yards away from Keke and their son Leo. In addition, Keke was granted sole custody of their son. In a new filing, Keke and Darius explained the plan to attend mediation together. Now, the filing said both parties are concurrently filing a stipulation in order to continue the court's order to participate in mediation, currently set for November 29, 2023, and petitioner's request for domestic violence restraining order, which is currently set for December 5th, 2023, to allow the parties time to attend mediation. The parties request that the mediation and petitioner's DVRO can be continued on a mutually agreeable date. So I'm hoping that, you know what, as a couple, they could, well, they're not a couple no more, but I'm hoping that they could work things out, because you know what, at the end of the day, y'all don't need to be in a relationship anymore. I feel like the relationship is toxic, they need to go their separate ways. However, now that there's a child involved, I do feel like that they need to figure out a way to make it work, so that way they could, you know, make have a mutual situation where it's like, okay, so when you want to come and I can pass off the son and you go and do what you want to do with Leo, y'all have father-son time and you go ahead and do that. I don't think like a kid should always be up under his mother. I mean, unless you're a single parent and you ain't got no choice. But if there's an opportunity for the father to be in the picture, then I do think that there should be a way that y'all come to a mutual agreement and make it work out. Now, I don't know if I would give him entire freedom. I think it needs to be based off of some of the stuff that we read and we heard the audio and all the other stuff that was going on. I do feel like there needs to be a mediator. Maybe there needs to be some visitation, as in what is the word? Like a chaperone or somebody that's there to make sure that he ain't doing nothing crazy. Because I don't know, for some reason I feel like, yeah, y'all could do the whole mediation thing, but I don't know. I feel like Darius might try to pull some mess where he'll take the kid and run off to another country and cross the border or something, and Keke won't see her child again. She'll have to spend all her Hollywood coin to try to get her son back. So I don't know if I trust him completely to leave that baby alone with his father based off of the things that we've heard, but I do like the fact that they're working this stuff out. And I did hear that his brother Saronis and Saronis' baby mother, I believe her name is Danielle, they're going through it in court because she's got some, I guess she insinuated some abuse. So like in the beginning when she was being vague on social media, she ain't really said nothing. But now I'm noticing as the weeks go by and I guess there's not a lot of heat on this situation, she's starting to speak out more and we're starting to find out some situation. Oh yeah, supervised visitation. Thank you. Instead of mediator. I mean, look, it is what it is. But yeah, they need some supervised visitation because, like I said, I don't trust him completely. I really don't. So, a shout out to you, Miss Palmer, and I hope y'all work this situation out as y'all should. Okay, so child, let's get into this story because this got me, in the words of Beyonce, heated. Let's talk about Julianna Margulies. Now, I will say this. I like Julianna Margulies as an actress, but this shit she said lately, I was like, oh no, heifer. You tried it. I loved her, you know, from The Good Wife. But before that, when she was on ER, I think her character was married to George Clooney. But I loved her on that show, and then she went off and did The Good Wife. And I know now she's on The Morning Show, which is a show that I do have saved on my Apple TV thingy, but I have not watched it yet. So I don't know if a lot of y'all are aware of what had went down. But, you know, she got dragged because she thought that she could bring in, you know, she just thought she could lump in the Black and LGBTQ community in the conversation regarding the Israel-Hamas war. Now, what she said pissed me all the way off, and I do have the clip because I want y'all to hear it. I could read it, but I feel like you get a lot more from hearing it from the damn horse's mouth. So she, she basically said that any one of us who support Palestine have been brainwashed to hate Jews, which in my opinion could be further from the truth. And I do have my opinion on this, which I literally wrote a whole citation. I wrote a whole paragraph on it, and I'm probably gonna have to read it so that way y'all could know like where I'm coming from, because a lot of times when I get heated in these situations, my mind goes all over the place and I feel like I lose focus. But if I write it down, then I can pretty much have all my thoughts in place. But yeah, so let me pull up this clip of what she said, and then we will rule. Is this it? Yep, there it is. Hold on.
It's if anything like this had happened in the Black community, for example, 900 protesters left stranded on the tarmac in DC on their way to the rally because all the bus drivers walked out. If that had happened to any other marginalized community, this country would be in an uproar. But because it happened to the Jews, for some reason, it's laughable. And there's just such a strange story woven into anti-Semites, I should say, because I'm the first person to march in Black Lives Matter. When that happened to George Floyd, I put a black screen on my Instagram. Like, I ran to support my Black brothers and sisters. When LGBTQ people are being attacked, I run. I made a commercial for same-sex marriages with my husband in 2012. Like, I am the first person to jump up when something is wrong, as I think most Jews are, because we have been persecuted from the beginning of time. Not just in World War II, but literally from the beginning of time, when we first lived in Israel, way before anybody else. And so I guess what's happening to the crazy people out there who are getting their news from TikTok, maybe, which in my estimation, after this whole Osama bin Laden letter, should be banned. TikTok should be banned. Social media literally has distorted pretty much all of history.
And I will have to say I vehemently disagree with her on a lot of the stuff that she said. One, when she says that TikTok has been spreading a lot of misinformation, I'm gonna have to disagree with that, because a lot of times when I go on TikTok, I'm getting way more information about what's going on with this war than I would from Western media. I do feel like a lot of times when I'm looking at the regular news, when I'm looking at CNN, when I'm looking at a lot of these places, I'm not getting the real story. I'm getting a lot of one-sidedness, which is basically Israel has the right to defend itself and just continue to blow up people over in Gaza. And my thing is, yes, everyone has a right to defend themselves when they're being attacked. However, when you have way more arsenal in your backyard and you can continuously bomb these people, because look, the minute the ceasefire ended, they went immediately back to blowing shit up over there. Like, the place is uninhabitable at this point. And I resent the fact of someone saying that, because I have empathy for the people that are caught in this crossfire, that makes me an anti-Semite, or I hate Jewish people. I don't hate anybody. First of all, hate is a strong word. I don't know enough people to hate them. And I don't have the energy to hate somebody. First of all, that gives you wrinkles. That gives you stress all over your body. Ulcers, my hair go full on white like storm. Like, I ain't got time to be out here hating on people. I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute once, because I see there's some comments that's up in here that I want to post on the page. But I will say this. Now, Ostery, the guy whose podcaster was, said you're 100% right. If we use the wrong pronouns on because they didn't get to the whole LGBTQ thing, there was a whole lot more that was said in the thing. But of course, this being I didn't want to play the whole situation. of what was said. Like, I won't play the whole podcast. Y'all can go on my website and you can see that there. But they said that if we use the wrong pronouns on college campuses, there'd be an uproar. Margulies went on to criticize progressive young people who she feels have supported those attacking Jews, saying it's those kids who are spewing this anti-Semitic hate that have no idea if they step foot in an Islamic country. These people who want us to call them they/them or whatever you want us to call them, which I have respectfully really made a point of doing. Like, be whoever you want to be. It's those people that will be the first people beheaded and their heads played like a soccer ball on a field. And that's just who they're supporting. Terrorists who don't want women to have their rights. LGBTQ people get executed bar none. And this is who you're supporting. It is so insane to me that it's laughable if it wasn't so sad. It's unfathomable. And where are the professors calling all of those students into the auditorium and saying, hold on a minute, guys, do you understand what a terrorist organization is about? Learn what you're supporting. And my thing is this, it's like, I'm well aware of, like, if you go to certain countries that you could be beheaded, you could be hung for being LGBTQ. However, let's not forget, if I was to go and land my ass on a plane, well, I don't know how I would get into Gaza because, they're dropping bombs and stuff, right? If I was to go to any of those places, I'm sure there are plenty of queer people who are living under what's going on over there. So I'm not going to ignore my queer brothers and sisters who are caught up in this situation as well, that are trying to find a way to get up out of that mess. So I kind of resent what she said. So here's my opinion, and then I'm gonna read her backlash, like the backlash that she received, because she received a lot of backlash, but she also apologized, and I'll read that apology in a second. But let me get to what I said. So I basically said, as someone who's a critical thinker and got an A in sociology in college, my views on what's happening is quite clear. Now, I'm sorry, sis, but you don't get to weaponize the Black and queer community when it's convenient for you. I'm so sick and tired of people, particularly Jewish people, who continue this narrative that if you show empathy for the Palestinian people caught in the crossfire of this Israel-Hamas war, that we are pro-terrorist. I also resent the fact that this narrative that we're being taught to hate Jews when that's just not true. Nothing could be further from the truth. You can be an anti-terrorist but pro-people, and I'm sick and tired of people like her playing the oppression Olympics whenever things don't suit their narrative. We're also seeing people losing their jobs if their beliefs aren't in lockstep with what people like Julianna think. Melissa Barrera was just fired from Scream 7 over her pro-Palestinian Instagram post, and Susan Sarandon was dropped from her agency for standing with Palestine. And when I wrote this, I didn't know at the time. I will say this, she has apologized for what she said, Susan Sarandon. And I think I should probably bring up her quote and stuff of what she said as well. Now, Tom Cruise had to go personally save his agent's job after she was almost fired for sharing pro-Palestine posts on her Instagram. I also believe that she resigned eventually. And I read an article that a law professor from Berkeley who urged firms not to hire students who stood with Palestine. Meanwhile, Amy Schumer, Noah Schnapp, Michael Rappaport, and others continue to remain employed while they spew their bigotry online for attention. I can't stand a bully, and I damn sure don't like when an argument remains one-sided. I am against taking lives, period, regardless of the side you're on. I'm not going to embody Zionist viewpoints to make you feel justified in your hate of the opposing team. Now, the reason why you're not seeing a lot of support from the Black and queer community on this subject is because we are all still trying to understand the cultural war between Israel and Palestine. Now, upon further research, outside of the one-sided talking points we're being spoon-fed through Western media, we can relate to what Palestinians are experiencing in Gaza, the discrimination and colonization against their white oppressors, and it seems the people who have become far more upset in this fight are European-looking Israelites. The fact that children are being blown to bits, men, women, and children being shot at during the temporary ceasefire, Palestinians being denied food, water, and health care, being forced to evacuate hospitals while under bomb threats, and doctors and nurses having to leave patients behind that cannot be moved. This is why you're not getting the overall support you expect from queer people of color. Now, as an outsider looking in, the politicians of Israel are treating the people of Palestine the same way the Nazis treated them during the Holocaust. And I feel like with that, it's probably what got Susan Sarandon in trouble because of the way she worded it. Which she wound up saying this. She said, Recently, let me actually show the screen with y'all so that way you can actually see what I'm looking at because I literally just pulled it up as I was talking about. um, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh wait, did I make it big? Did I let me see? Did I make it a big screen? No, I don't think I did. Wait, there is there, but I don't know if y'all can see it if it's big enough. But it said recently I attended a rally alongside a diverse group of activists seeking to highlight the urgent humanitarian crisis in Gaza and call for a ceasefire. I had not planned to speak, but was invited to take the stage and say a few words. Intending to communicate my concern for an increase in hate crimes, I said that Jewish Americans, as the targets of rising anti-Semitic hate, are getting a taste of what it's like to be Muslim in this country, so often subjected to violence. This phrasing was a terrible mistake, as it implies that until recently, Jews have been strangers to persecution, when the opposite is true. As we all know, from centuries of oppression and genocide in Europe to the Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jews have long been familiar with discrimination and religious violence, which continues to this day. I deeply regret diminishing this reality and hurting people with the comment. It was my intent to show solidarity in the struggle against bigotry of all kinds, and I'm sorry I failed to do so. I will continue my commitment to peace, truth, justice, and compassion for all people. I hope that we can meet with love and willingness to engage in dialogue, especially with those with whom we disagree. And I got what she was saying, but I felt like, yeah, the way she worded it, um, it it didn't look good on Susan's, part. It made her look, like she was. It did sound a little, but I think sometimes it's like, yes, y'all need a reminder. Just because, and I think a lot of times that happens in our communities. Is like when we've been oppressed for so long, we're abused by the higher up. We feel like, oh, if we align ourselves with the abuser, then we can abuse those down there. We've seen it happen within the Black community, where a lot of times, or when it comes to, I'll use for example, since you will bring up the queer community, when Black people go in and let have on the Black queer community, they're like, oh, they not part of us. We don't include them with that. Black trans lives don't matter. Black lives matter, but Black trans lives don't matter. Black queer lives don't matter, even though the queer and the trans be out there marching for those very rights that the Black lives definitely want. So when you try to disassociate yourselves from them because you feel like if I align myself with these white people over here, then, or these other people over here, then, they'll leave us alone and they'll go pick up on them. So that's kind of like, I think, what Susan Sarandon was trying to get at, but she worded it. The way she worded it kind of got her in trouble. So I don't know if, um, Roro says she lost me when she called us the Blacks. But I was like, yeah, yeah. When you were saying that, to me, it just felt like, okay. So what do you want, a damn cookie? Because you were like, oh, I marched and I did this, that, and the other. I'm like, look. My thing is, if you want to put up a Black scream on your thing because of George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and all that other stuff, you want to do that, you should be able to do that out of the kindness of your heart and because you feel the need that you wanted to do it. Not because, oh, you looking for sympathy and empathy from the Black queer and the queer community. I donated money to this LGBTQ organization, or I actually showed up at this fundraiser, or I actually marched when this trans person was killed. I was like, okay, you should do it because you want to do it and it's out of the kindness of your heart and not because you're looking for points, you're looking for accolades, you're looking for attention. When you do it that way, it's sort of like, okay, so what? You doing this because what you expecting to get some kind of, well, thank you for being an ally. Like, no, we don't need people like that. We need people who genuinely want to be allies to the community and learn and try to make the world a better place. And we love the allies. We love the white allies when it comes to Black people and the Black struggles. Sometimes we need those white allies to speak up because a lot of times, a lot of y'all don't want to listen until somebody white says it. And the same thing with the queer community. When the straight people come in and show that they stand in solidarity and they want to speak up, then there's that. And I would speak up for Israel if the pendulum wasn't mostly on, or if you say anything remotely against them, they want you fired. They want your livelihood to be destroyed. They want to dox you. They want to do all these other things, which is what we've seen a lot of extremists doing this. Now, I'm not here for people going violence against each other, like the Palestinians attacking the Jews and the Jews attacking them. We don't need all of that. We need to figure out a way to come together and stop this unsenseless killing. And to me, it seems like it's a lot over land. And it feels very much like colonization. And, these European looking people are trying to oppress these black, these dark skinned, these brown people over here on this side. That's what it's giving me. And for many of the things I think what black people can relate to is being oppressed by, Europeans and colonization and racism and colorism and all those things. So that's basically what I feel like a lot of the root of all of this is, and religion and a whole bunch of other stuff. All the things that are the distraction, while the Netanyahu's of the world continue to reap and all the coin and the benefits. We're all everybody's out here infighting while the politicians are out here just lining their pockets and profiting off of the deaths of millions of people, which basically has always been kind of the root of war. So, yeah, so I think I've said all I need to say with that. Oh, wait, I forgot to say her apology while I was sitting here going on a whole rant. She basically said, I'm the first person, wait, is this it? Oh, yeah, I got it. She says, I'm horrified by the fact that statements I made on a recent podcast offended the Black and LGBTQIA plus communities I truly love and respect. This is what she told people in a statement. She says, I want to be 100% clear. Racism, homophobia, sexism, or any prejudice against anyone's personal beliefs or identity are abhorrent to me, full stop. Throughout my year, I have worked tirelessly to combat hate of all kind and anti-Semitism, speak out against terrorist groups like Hamas, and forge a united front against discrimination, she continued. I did not intend for my words to sow further division, for which I am sincerely apologetic. And this apology, I should say, was first posted in Deadline magazine. So she apologized. Now, do I believe it? I feel like she's only apologizing because, she got all that backlash and she was in the heat of the moment and she felt how she felt. And then she realized how it came across. We're all human. We all say things in the heat of the moment and stuff, but I feel like she meant what she said. And you want to apologize? That's great. But I don't feel like what she said will affect her career because she's on the side of Israel. And from what we've seen is that anybody who is anti-Palestine, your careers are safe. But when you call for peace and a ceasefire, you end up unemployed. So we pretty much know, like, she'll be fine along with Noah Schnapp, crazy ass Michael Rappaport, who only time he get attention is when he's talking about a bunch of damn housewives that Andy Cohen want to bring him on that tight ass show he does. So there's that. So I don't know. Good luck, ma'am. I guess she'll be doing, I don't know, another season of. Is she still on the morning show? Like I said, I've never seen the show, so I don't know if her arc is done, if she's on it. And I know a lot. Sidebar: I did see Archie Punjabi was trending on social media because everybody was like, "Oh, she told y'all that she had a problem back in the day." I guess with she was coming across as like she don't like anybody that isn't of the Jewish, ilk or whatever. And I don't know what I think Archie Punjabi is Muslim or whatever. I guess they were trying to say that she's kind of anti-Muslim or whatever. I don't know about all of that. I did see that it was trending. And Archie Punjabi, for y'all who don't know, played Kalinda Sharma on The Good Wife, who was the girl that would go out and get the information. She would go digging and find out all the stuff that she needed to find to help the lawyers with their case. So she basically worked side by side. And they said, like, in the finale, they did a split screen camera thingy via satellite situation where they wasn't even in the same room together. So I guess they had some situation. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. If people know, let me know. But apparently them two did not get along or something or another. So yeah, there's that. All right, so let's get to our final topic, which is about 50 Cent, who continues to troll Diddy. I don't know what his issue is, but yeah, 50 Cent just loves trolling. And apparently is interested in doing a documentary. So it says that is 50 Cent ready to expose hip-hop rival Diddy's dirty little secrets in the form of a documentary? Now, according to Page 6, 50's G Unit Films and Television Company has perhaps become best known for its dramas, including Power and all the 50,000 spin-offs that have transpired out of that. But the Indie Club rapper has also produced some acclaimed true crime documentaries and podcasts, including Hip Hop Homicides, in which the former TMZ star Van Lathan probes the deaths of gone too soon rap sensations, including Pop Smoke, XXX Tentacion, and King Von. It was also behind the podcast Surviving El Chapo, the twins who brought down a drug lord, which told the story of Chicago twins who became America's biggest drug traffickers and then ratted on the Mexican kingpin. Now, Page Six has learned that G Unit's next target is much closer to home. They're told that Fitty is already in early development on a TV documentary about rival Diddy and allegations of abuse by his longtime partner Cassie and others. Diddy has adamantly denied the claims. He also recently stepped down as chair of his own media company, Revolt, as reported. Now, 2 weeks ago, we already talked about it. Cassie, who was an artist on his label and only put out, I believe, one album. Did she ever release an album? I don't even know if an album ever transpired. I never really I listened to 2 songs from Cassie, and that was enough for me. And then I saw that horrible ass BET performance and was like, no ma'am. But she filed a suit against the mogul, claiming he raped her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes while he watched, among other allegations. And then, they settled within 24 hours, which of course people automatically thought he was guilty and all that other mess. And 50 always had, he's always been poking at Diddy. And I believe I mentioned this not too long ago when I was talking about the situation with his security, his head of security, who came out and was like, started spilling tea, and people was getting mad at the head of security for not speaking out about what happened with Cassie. First of all, that wasn't his place to do that. He said the only reason why he spoke out now was because he was named in her suit. So now that you brought his name up as a witness, where it could have been possible had they not settled, he would have been called to testify. He's like, I can speak up now. And because before, I do think like he didn't do anything wrong. I'm glad he didn't speak up. Number one, like I've said in previous stories, whenever I talk about Diddy, people are not aware of how powerful that man was back in the 90s and the 2000s, especially when he was running MTV, where, he was getting all that play with them shiny ass suits and all that other mess that he was going through at that time. So Diddy ran the record industry. He was one of the most powerful people in hip hop. He was getting all that radio play. He was in heavy rotation on MTV and all the other sites, I believe BET as well. So he had the whole industry on lock. He was very powerful, and anybody who would have came out, just some regular security guard or whatever, would have came out and said something, y'all would have messed with his livelihood. He got kids to feed. I don't know how many children the man had, but it's like he has a family to take care of. He has all these other things, and if he would have ended up unemployed, he could have been blacklisted if he would have spoke out. And then on top of that, what happens when women are in situations where they're in an abusive relationship. A lot of times you want to speak up and you want to help them, and they'll get away, and then sometimes they'll go back and they make you look oh yeah, we back together. It happens in regular situations, and it happens, I'm sure, in regular celebrity situations. So him speaking out would not have helped him in any other way. Like I said, he could have lost his livelihood. He would have been blackballed from the industry. He would have never got another security job. He probably would have had to resort to working in a damn mall or something. And they don't really pay. Them security guards that they be having, I guess, in like regular jobs, I don't think they pay as well as like if you're working for a celebrity of Diddy's caliber 24 hours, 7 days a week, or however long he had him. But I'm sure he's with him most of the time. So the bodyguard knew where all the bodies was buried, so he couldn't come out and say anything. And as far as like this documentary goes, we know 50 has always poked the bear when it comes to Diddy. He always had a gripe about him. He's always said some crazy stuff, and I'm here for it. Like if this turns out to be true, because I do remember he did tease something or another like this in an article that I had wrote about the security guard, that he posted something online that he was, I guess, implying that he was going to do this thing. So now it seems like it's becoming more and more real. And look, y'all finally exposed R. Kelly after how many years that we done said that R. Kelly did this, and this, and nobody listened back then, until the whole Me Too Time's Up situation happened. And then everybody decided, okay, so now that the Me Too Time's Up situation is going on, let's talk about it. Now everybody wants to listen. Everybody's ready to listen. And now we're R. Kelly in jail, ostracized, like he got the Scarlet A on his head, and people don't F him no more. Now I do know people do play his music, because I was at my grandfather's 90th birthday party and I rolled my eyes when they basically played R. Kelly. I'm like, y'all literally up in here playing this man. But You know, a lot of people like to just look the other way when it comes to, they'll still play the music at the cookouts and the barbecues. Well, barbecue cookout, same shit. You know, they'll play the music at, you know, all the events and all the other stuff, and they'll still bump his music. But I guess, and if y'all like it, I love it, but I don't support the man. But anyway, so I say all that to say, I'm here for the documentary. If it happens, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I wonder who's gonna pick it up, because we know, what is it? Lifetime is the one that did what is it? The Survivor R. Kelly. So I'm wondering, like, if it's done, he could probably shop it to them, because I know he ain't shopping at the Stars. You know, 50 already had his drama with Stars and stuff, and then 50 also offered to buy Revolt, but it's like, don't do that. Stick with, you know, what you've been doing. Just produce and sell your stuff to other networks. We don't need you trying to just stick us with a bunch of damn power marathons on the network if you plan on buying that. So, like I said, I'm here for it. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for watching today's show. We are at the end of our stream and our episode. Thank you for those of you who have been watching, who stuck through to the end, and, you know, we're in the comments. Please like and subscribe to my social medias, which I have in the description. If y'all do, please also donate to my Courage app so we can help out with the thing. Like, I'm literally been, you know, the past couple of shows I've been producing them by myself and stuff, seeing if I'm really getting better at it. I finally figured out how to put the theme song in, but I did mess it up. If y'all saw it in the beginning where it did the feedback, I forgot to mute the thing. And so you hear like that, I'm like, wait, what's going on? But anyway, look, I got it down packed next time. So thank you all for tuning in. You know, I love you all. Thank you all for watching, all that good stuff. And until next time, ciao, darlings.